Hello guys, I'm here in the nursery with the babies. Got the mobile playing. These three little ones are asleep. Got them all in the night where I've been changing them. And Misha's still awake. It takes her a while to get off to sleep. And then I'm here with Oliver, who's also in. Oh, I put my hand over. Is in his pajamas. So I want to make it quick because, guys, my battery's actually going low. So I just thought if I just focusing on the babies. What it is I've just been watching like some of me where I'm sub to, and really I'm a little bit shocked. I don't know what's going on in the reborn community. You know, I mean, I've been in this community for about over 9 years, and you know, I didn't put my channel up to be popular or anything else. I came into this community because I thought I was sharing with like-minded people who also had a passion for dolls, which, you know, by our videos gives us a chance to share this hobby. I mean, I was inspired, I don't know about some of you guys, but I was inspired by Little Loves, who sadly isn't with us. You know, her videos was always, you know, where it just showed you how, you know, how we can interact, and how it was lovely to see sort of, you know, the role play of interacting, because we all miss when our babies, you know, when we had real babies, and you know, these just like sort of bring back the memories. So, you know, this is what, you know, I enjoyed about this hobby. But also it was because, you know, we all have a passion for dolls, or we wouldn't be actually a part of this community. And, you know, I was also inspired by another subscriber having you on, who, you know, give us the courage to be able to enjoy taking the babies out in the community, which I know some people don't like to do, but, you know, some of us can put the courage up and do it. But, you know, as you know, my favourite reborn sort of videos where I like is the interaction ones. And there's a lot of young ones who I'm actually sub to, who are really sort of bringing that back of like what Little Love's done, and that, you know, is interacting with the babies, you know, getting them up, doing the morning routine, nighttime routine, you know, taking them out, and it's really enjoyable to watch. But what's really of concern to me, to get back to the point which I'm wanting to make, is just watched a video on one of my subs, and I will say her name, it's Anna's Reborn Fun in the Nursery, and I couldn't believe what was happening when I was watching the video. She was so upset and crying. I mean, what is being said to make a person feel like this? I mean, we're grown women, for goodness sake. I mean, I know we get a lot of negative comments of people who don't share sort of our hobby, who think that we bonkers, but you know what I mean, who cares? You can easily block them. But bad and negative comments of fellow reborners, you know, so-called friends, to tell you the truth, it's not on. It's like being back at school, bullying. I mean, come on, we've got to try and get this back on track. The community, the reborn community now, it seems to be just coming away to sort of like, you know, use it as social media to air out like tittle and tattling and things like that, you know, about other people. We're not using this hobby of which we actually sort of, you know, got involved in the first place, and that was to share our babies. Now, I mean, some people may say this, think this is a bit harsh, but really, you know, I know we all like to sometimes come on and say, you know, that, you know, we've had a bit of a health problem, or, you know, we're going through a little bit of a rough time, but who's not? And if everybody was to share all of the problems, what their families and their illnesses and things like that, what they're going through, you know, it doesn't no longer become of where the community, the reborn community, it becomes more of likes of sort of just sharing our problems. And you know, we all have a load of problems and things like that going on in our own personal lives. But you know, ladies, even though I say, you know, my reborn friends, I mean, my friends are people who I talk to, who I'm close to, who are sort of like in my faith. Them are people who I would share sort of, you know, how I'm feeling regarding if I'm suffering with something, but I wouldn't share it with complete strangers who really sort of, you know, that's what we are to each other. Even though we share this, we're not close friends of where we can, you know, share every single sort of problem, what we may be facing, you know, and things like that. I think we're really getting away from why we actually sort of upload videos, and that's to share our passion for dolls. It's becoming now where it's being used as airing out sort of like what's wrong with us, and you know, troubles we may be having with other artists or things, you know what I mean? I mean, there's nothing wrong with sharing if our babies are going wrong and we may have to send them back to our artist. That's sharing regarding of like sort of something which is to do with our dolls. But please, let's stop using it as where we picking faults with people, but also people need to stop putting things on which really, you know, may be personal or people sort of, I don't know how to word this, but we live in a world where people don't really care about other people. You know, people can say harsh and cruel things because we live in a me world. I'm sorry, you know, guys, but this is the way I've actually started to find this community. It's lost all of its spark and that's why, like I say, I've downsized my collection because I'm not as enthusiastic as I used to be, and I've slashed a lot of my subs. And like I say, I've been in this community over 9 years. I've only got 160 odd subscribers, but I'm not bothered. I do this to share what I enjoy, whether people watch it or not. So I'm sorry if some of you take me comments and, you know, me the way that I feel the wrong way, but I'm just sort of, you know, I skip videos of where it's just somebody having a rant on about something and that, and it just becomes where you're just listening to a person's problems. You know, I could turn around and say, I've got a niece. She's only 40-year-old. She's in 6 years of where she'd be told with the disease she's got that the 6 years is all that they've given her. She's in that 6th year now. She's got 2 young children. So she could die at any time, but I don't sit and just share it with people because to me it's you know, I maybe contradict myself here because I've told you, but it's something where I wouldn't have shared because people's got their own problems and they don't want to be hearing of doom and gloom. This hobby actually sort of gives me sort of that little bit of comfort to get away from all of the problems and things of what like we face in our lives. Everybody is going through some sort of family illness or their own illness, and you know, we share that with our loved ones, our close family. So you know, I think maybe we need to take a check on how, you know, we actually sort of portraying this reborn community, because I think a lot is losing the sense of, you know, doing it to be able to share our enjoyment with the hobby, and that's of these things here, our dolls, and how they make us feel. So like I say, I'm not bothered if people block me or don't sub to me because of maybe me comments, but that's how I feel, and I'm on the verge of actually just calling it a day, just enjoying me dolls sort of at my own leisure, not sharing it with anybody, but just sort of just enjoying me hobby myself. So guys, I hope that you watch this to the end and don't switch off, because we know that a lot of talking's boring, and if you know my videos, I don't like to talk. Sometimes I have nothing to talk about. I could talk about sort of problems and things like that, but I don't, because that's not what I upload my videos for. I upload it to share me babies and to enjoy interacting, either be changing or, you know, showing me nursery and things which is enjoyable, not depressing. So please guys, let's try and get this back on track like it was years ago, because I think now it's really losing its enjoyment. And to see people literally shouting and crying because they're so upset, this is not what this channel's about. So anyway guys, to all my sort of, which I call my reborn friends, because of the friends who share this hobby, you know, that I just hope that we can start and, you know, try and get rid of all of this nasty and negativeness, which seems to be really rearing its ugly head all of the time. So anyway guys, thanks for listening to us, and I hope you listen to the end. Bye bye now.